Today on City Wrestling Radio, Edge has been screwed out of winning the United States Championship for the second time. We'll take a look at this week's Monday Night Raw and the fallout from Elimination Chamber. Ariel Helwani made some interesting comments following, he's had an interesting back and forth with Tony Khan. We'll look at that. And Mercedes Mone makes her in-ring debut for New Japan Pro Wrestling. All of that and more this week on City Wrestling Radio. Hello there, and welcome back to another fabulous, wonderful edition or episode, whatever you want to call it, of City Wrestling Radio. I'm your host, Korey Smith, being joined, as always, because, usually it's earlier on Monday that you get me and the Jose, Mr. Ocegueda. I was going to call you the Jose man, but that would be weird.
Yeah, really weird.
But Mr. Jose Ocegueda, he's joining me, my co-host. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing very well. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and go watch Ant-Man, Quantumania. I had fun. Don't listen to the critics. It's a fun movie. Just go out and enjoy the movie, enjoy the game.
You know, I will be honest, there is one movie I'm looking forward to. One superhero movie. I'm not a DC fan, but that Flash movie, man.
Yeah.
It's got me interesting, especially when they showed Michael Keaton returning as Batman, as nostalgia. An old Batman.
Yeah, nostalgia would always get you. Always get you.
I don't give a fuck about Flash. I really don't. Apparently, was it Ezra Miller's quite questionable. So,
and he's gone after this movie, but that's fine. Supposedly he's rebooting the whole universe. Is the vibe I'm getting?
Yeah. So we'll see exactly how good that is. But nonetheless, we're not here to talk about America's love for superheroes. We're here to talk about Monday Night Raw because, oh boy. And we'll talk a little bit of Elimination Chamber kind of throughout the show too, not specifically at any moments, but Jose, what did you think of last night's Monday Night Raw?
It's fine. I'm looking forward to SmackDown more than Raw nowadays. And that's weird because I used to be, Raw guy, rah. But nowadays, I'm looking forward to what Roman Reigns has to say.
Well, So like the show kicked off with Sami Zayn greeting to a loud ovation from the crowd. So, I mean, everyone's debating this. Should Sami have won at Elimination Chamber? What do you think, Jose?
Oh, man. I mean, that's, that it's up to opinion. It's how do you like your toast done? How do you like your eggs? Me personally, should I? No, he shouldn't have won the title. What's more important, a Roman Reigns 1,000-day run or a title switch at Mania, or Sami Zayn winning now? I would say a title switch at Mania, possibly a 1,000-day for Roman. That supersedes Sami winning. I'm a huge Sami fan. I'm a huge fan of this angle, and I can't wait to see where it goes. That being said, keep the strap on Roman for the time being anyway.
A lot of people were saying, oh, this was the moment. You only have this one moment. And yes, given you do only have this one moment, but I agree. I don't think Sami should have won. And I agree with the way that WWE kind of went with what they did, because honestly, if Sami had won those titles, that would have healed up Cody Rhodes in an instant,
Mm-hmm.
Like people are like, oh, it could be a 3-way at Mania. So you want Cody Rhodes to go win the titles against Sami Zayn at that point? Like everyone's going to be rooting for Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think they made the right choice. But
and make no mistake, Sami came off really, really strong.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's probably like one of the top guys, top 3 or 4 guys in the company right now. So, but like I said, he kicked off Monday Night Raw, greeting the crowd. Sami expressed his gratitude, but felt guilty for not being able to put a storybook ending in front of his friends and family at Elimination Chamber. He called out Kevin Owens to the ring and proposed that they team up to take out Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, as neither of them could do so on their own. However, Owens rejected the offer, stating that he fought the Bloodline for himself and his family, and suggested that Zayn just ask his buddy Jey Uso to help him out.
Logic, how refreshing, right?
And, you know, this whole segment, right? This whole beginning segment, any Sami Zayn segment, it's funny because I used to hate these like in-ring monologues or, you know, back and forth dramatic segments that they would have. But lately they've been having these moments where it's like Sammy and Cody, Sammy and Kevin, Sammy and Roman, and the crowd is just in the like the whole crowd is just like, oh my God, what's going on? Like they're watching it like they're watching a TV show, as opposed to just like, you know, woo, just chanting for the sake of chanting or keeping themselves awake, you know?
Yeah.
And this had that feel to it because Kevin is screaming at him like, you know, I did it for my family. I didn't do it for you.
I did it for your family, so they wouldn't end up watching you like watching you get beat up like I got beat up.
Yeah, fucking
dude. Smart.
Just hug
smart.
already.
Yeah,
they want to hug.
Yeah, but very smart. You know, I totally agree with going this route. Like I mentioned, logic, man. Who would have thought it'd be so refreshing and so, you know, logical?
Yeah. So Sami Zayn, after Kevin Owens leaves, Sami Zayn's walking up the ramp and he's attacked by Baron Corbin. Okay.
Well, Baron Corbin did attack Cody last week, so it makes sense.
Okay. No, he's trying to lay some sort of claim because, you know, he's having another downward spiral.
This guy can't catch a break.
He just needs to go back to his original gimmick.
Grow his hair out.
I mean, not even grow the hair out because he was balding. You know what I mean? Leave it bald, but go back to like the leather jacket and just be the
lone wolf,
the badass that he was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Baron Corbin cut a promo on Sami Zayn in the ring, calling him a failure whose story was over after letting down all of Canada. Even at this point, Adam Pearce and all the officials who are holding back Sami Zayn just kind of step aside. They're like, go for it then at that point.
Ariel.
Who? Baron Corbin?
Yeah. To the point where Adam Pearce is like, you can have at it.
Well, you know, at that point, like it was in Canada, like it wasn't Montreal, like where they were in Ottawa, I believe. Mm-hmm. So, you know, hey, they still got it's not the hometown feel, but they're still, everyone's still very over for, you know, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. If Natalya came out, I'm sure she would have got a big ovation as well.
I roll.
But Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin. Sami Zayn won in about 9 minutes. Corbin worked over Zayn's bruised back, but Zayn came back with a tornado DDT and a flip dive. Corbin hit Zayn with a deep six for a near fall, but eventually Zayn came on top with the haluva kick and the pinfall. I mean,
Sammy worked a little harder than Cody did last weekend, but no way.
Oh no, Sammy is working at 100%. The only thing about Sammy is that he hasn't. I don't want to say this, and I don't want anyone from my opinion, from my observation, even at Elimination Chamber, he hasn't performed to this level in a long time. I feel like he's kind of been a comedy routine for the last 3 years or so in WWE.
It kind of gets the air out of your balloon, right?
Exactly. And there was even some spots, like, I didn't want to say he had like ring rust, but there was a moment. Okay, so back in the day, Sami Zayn used to do this fucking great move. It was the move that literally got me watching NXT back in like 2017, where, you know, there's the corner of the ring and Sami jumps through the ropes and goes over and then does like a tornado DDT on the person.
He scraped himself on his chest really bad on Saturday.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, it looked like he had a scar there for even tonight or last night. And he just totally just landed on the mid ropes, didn't even fall forward. So I don't know. I hope Sammy gets back to the original. You know, I know he's a little older now. You know, hopefully that's not anything to hold him back. Hopefully it's just, you know, performing at this level again is going to take some time to get back into the original ring shape that he was. So.
You know what? Maybe even nix that move. You know, there's people that, you know, advance in their age, and it's time to remove a couple moves. You know, we see it with AJ Styles. We saw it with Stone Cold. We see it with everyone. So it might be that time to just eliminate that move.
Yeah,
he's a really good worker.
Give it to Ricochet or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then we go backstage. Byron Saxton had a sit-down interview with Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. Ripley mentioned her focus is on.
Always cracks me up. I'm sorry.
Who, Dominic?
That whole anytime somebody got mad while I was locked up. Oh my gosh, it's gold.
He's like, you know what, gold. Byron, I'll show you. Like stop asking her these questions. Yeah, dude, Dominic's great. The only thing about it is they need to just kind of start pushing for what he's going to do towards Mania. Like, I know we're 6 weeks away. We got time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're a week and a half out from a pay-per-view and we barely know half the card.
Yeah.
Like AEW Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
But, I do love it. I like how Rhea Ripley's going for the women's title. I think Dom's going to be facing his dad at Mania. I mean, it only makes sense.
Yeah, most likely.
The only thing I would shift in this WrestleMania match with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, I think Beth Phoenix should be put in the match.
And it might end up that way. Yeah.
Because she said she had unfinished business with Beth, and if you watch that mixed tag match on Saturday, was it Edge and Beth versus Finn and Rhea?
Correct.
Like, the words I was describing Brock and Bobby Lashley before I saw the two women fight were these two beefy beefcakes just slapping each other.
Yeah.
Just slapping beef. And you know what? These women did like 10 times that, because they like did that Haas match to the umph degree.
Mm-hmm.
And these two women look like monsters in the ring, tearing each other up.
Yeah,
and I just want to see it again. And if you add Charlotte Flair to the mix, all the more better.
Well, it is a 2-night event.
So there we go. Also announced that it was going to be a face-to-face with Charlotte and Rhea coming up on SmackDown. Then we have Kathy Kelly interviewing Austin Theory. Theory expressed his annoyance with John Cena receiving more headlines than him with his upcoming appearance, because that's been mentioned so much in the past couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was mentioned like once.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's like, I got this big problem with John Cena. It's like, no, we get it. It's WrestleMania season. He's got to have a match.
Mm-hmm.
John Cena's like the new Undertaker, isn't he?
Oh yeah, specialty. Coming out every one of the big four, most likely Mania, and he's super attached to the U.S. title. So, of course he'd be involved in this, right?
Yeah.
I gotta stop saying right so much.
Yes, stop saying what?
I gotta stop going right.
Yeah. No, I mean it's true though.
Yeah.
So Austin Theory, like I said, he was talking about John Cena. He was looking forward to defeating a legend like Edge tonight in Canada. Just kind of going off about that. Next up, we had the most filler match of filler. Phil. His name is Phil Brooks, and this Phil Brooks is filling this match. No, it's not CM Punk. It's Mustafa Ali defeating Dolph Ziggler. What? Why? Do
you see that backstage segment?
That was aired on the internet?
Dude, that was really weird.
Okay, first off, Dolph, I think, needs to go for a new look.
Yes.
I'm really not one. His look right now was great about 10 years ago, but he's really starting to look like Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
Cut the hair off.
Cut it short.
Yeah, be the Ziggler you were when you first entered the main stage.
Yeah, and that's fine if you want to do.
Yeah,
if you want to do the 80s rock and roll shtick, go for it.
Yeah, go ahead. Get the bandanas on your wrist.
Yeah, but cut the hair, man, because the hair just looks dried out, and it did not look good on him.
I hate to be, the guy that knows about hair, but that thing looks damaged.
No, I will be the first. My mom's a hairstylist.
There you go.
I was raised in salons. You know how many times like I just sat in the back, watch people cut hair. So like that's like the first thing I notice on people, unfortunately. Yeah. Anyways, Mustafa Ali, Dolph Ziggler. It was a match. Crowd was dead. There was a creative counter to a Famouser though, where Ali hit a handstand to block the Famouser.
Will Ospreay.
Yeah. I mean, that was a couple weeks ago, right? We saw something like that. Yeah. I think at Wrestle Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Then after the match, so Ali won with the crucifix pin and the victory, but after the match, he was just kind of like clapping, like, "Yeah, I won a match."
Smile more, right? It's because I smiled.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Ali.
They don't know how. They don't know what they're doing.
Like he has such potential And remember those great video segments he was doing? Like a couple years ago, he had like a friend that was doing video segments for just solely him.
Yeah.
And they were great. And he was putting it together. And then all of a sudden he's like threatening to quit because his story's not being told.
Mhm.
And then he's just like in retribution. And now he's just like another mid-card guy again.
Yeah. He was a hacker, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to see him, in this position. We'll see what happens. I think they're setting a lot of guys up for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Of course.
And I think they're giving a lot of people actual storylines going into it. So you're going to be like, oh, can this person win? Can this person win?
Yeah.
Because I think these are going to be two of the guys that are definitely going to be in that match.
Yeah, they're throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Kathy Kelly backstage with Miz and Maurice, where they're seen making out. Or sorry, I don't know why I said like Crisley. And they were seen backstage. Dude, why is that show still on? How is that show? Crisley Knows Best.
Oh yeah, I don't know how that. What?
I want the episodes of him in jail. Like,
oh, dude, I think they're banking on that. I think they want that.
Hey, y'all, today's my first day in jail, and I'm gonna see what I can do to make my cell a little nicer.
They told me to sag my pants a little bit below my booty.
So Miz and Maurice, they're backstage making out. Maurice had an anniversary gift for the Miz, but the contents of the envelope were not revealed.
I'm intrigued.
Miz was excited about this gift, but refused to disclose any details until next week. Ooh, what could it be? I mean, what could it be?
Maybe he's going to be in the next Marvel movie.
I thought it was like, because remember a couple months ago they were doing that storyline where Miz was like getting an allowance from Maurice.
Yeah. Huh?
So I thought it was some sort of like crazy big check, and then he's going to use that check to whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it is, Mania in Hollywood. So
speaking of Mania in Hollywood, okay, let's talk about this right now. We've only seen one so far of the WrestleMania movie parodies,
the tie-ins,
and it's Seth Rollins. He's doing the Joker because that's a movie from what 2-3 years ago.
Yep, Todd Phillips Joker. Mm-hmm.
So okay, I get it. Seth Rollins, he
makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, so he's singing and dancing like the Joker. But then it gets like super cheesy when Becky Lynch comes in, and it's just like breaking this third, fourth wall where they're like, yeah, we're married. You're the man. We have a man cave. What? Yeah, I'm crazy. I'm the Joker. Woo.
I'm the woman. I'm Batman.
Yeah. And to me, the only comparison I can say was like, and you might be able to get this, Jose, like, remember the MTV Movie Awards in the 90s?
That's exactly how this feels.
When they had, they had the good parodies back in the 90s. And then
the writers, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, they kept them going for years, and all of a sudden they kind of get cheesier and cheesier and cheesier until one day they were just no longer there.
Yeah.
It seems like they're trying to force this one because the fans were like, oh, we did this one time. Mm-hmm. Let's do it again,
Yeah.
And even this one, they were like, oh, I'm singing about WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, you miss 100% of the swings you don't take.
I mean, true. And this is only the first. This is only the first video, and waiting to see what other like parodies. What would you want to see as a parody, a movie parody?
Well, I it's not what I want, but I know what we will get is Austin Aries as somebody in Top Gun.
Wait, Austin Theory.
I mean, Austin Theory. Why do I keep saying that? Austin Theory as one of the Top Gun characters,
Maverick or Buzz,
Rooster, or whatever his name is. Goose's son. Yeah.
Goose. Yeah, I don't know, man. I still haven't seen that movie. I heard it was good, but
it's it's pretty good for what it is. I wish I saw it in theaters. How about that?
Yeah, and also they when they were doing the WrestleMania kind of like, oh, we have these matches already set, they played the official song, and I mean, I guess like I'll figure out the name later, but it was like this like mellow, like calm, like it wasn't even a hype song. It was just like this like soft, like it's WrestleMania.
I have to go back and listen now.
It was just like, I was like, oh, this song.
I didn't even notice. Maybe that's why it kind of snoozed me.
It was
more.
It was more calming than a couple years ago when was it like Blinding Lights was the song from the Weekend, which was a good song, but like I never felt like it was a good WrestleMania song because
not even a little bit. Yeah.
It never got me hyped. So I don't know. Okay, back to Raw. Cody Rhodes comes out to the ring. He only says one word before Paul Heyman cuts him off on the big screen. Heyman had both WWE titles and declined Rhodes' invitation to come out to the ring. He's also sporting the neck brace from the night before after being
classic
beat up. Oh, the second I saw him take that stunner the other night, I knew he was going to be wearing a neck brace probably for the next month and a half.
If not 6 months.
Heyman stated that Rhodes couldn't beat Roman Reigns, but made him imagine his life if he did beat Roman Reigns. Heyman mentioned the busy schedule of Reigns as champion and his life away from home. He suggested that that Rhodes and his wife wouldn't be happily married if Rhodes won the title, even suggesting that Paul Heyman, might creep in and swoop Brandy Rhodes away from him.
He said, well, the tribal leader, he's a married man, but I'm not.
Whoa, Paul, like, Jesus Christ, he is throwing down the gauntlet at that point. Like, I think Cody should demand a match with Paul Heyman now. Like, this has gotten more personal with Paul Heyman than it ever has with Roman Reigns.
Brandy should demand a match with Paul Heyman. How about that?
Jeez, yeah, no, absolutely. This is crazy. Well,
if there's ever an opportunity to bring her in, it's on a 2-night WrestleMania.
No, that's true. Rhodes addressed the camera and instructed Reigns to refrain from sending Paul Heyman to interrupt him again. Although they have not met in person, he has promised Roman Reigns that they soon will. Rhodes acknowledged Reigns as the best Universal Champion in history and the current top champion in the industry, which is kind of funny to me. But he was determined to finish the story by defeating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. No, I mean, great segment. Cody has a lot of heat or a lot of passion at the end of this, even shaking as he's saying the last couple lines into the camera. So great on him. I can't wait to see him win the titles. If he doesn't win the titles at Mania, I'm going to be kind of pissed.
Me too.
Like, I'm legit going to get on here and be like, I'll refrain. You guys, I don't want you to get that episode. So
yeah, 100%. I don't like the reference of a story being brought up twice. Cody brought up this, I'm going to end this story the right way, or whatever he said at the end, right? Sammy said the same thing too.
Yeah, they've been kind of going with that they've both been doing that same thing for the past few weeks. This is my story. This is my story. And I think they might be doing that with WrestleMania in general because, you know, Hollywood stories, movies.
Yeah. Didn't put that together.
I don't know. That's just what
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Next up, we have Asuka defeating Nikki Cross. Okay. It was a pretty decent match, I'll be honest. Bianca Belair came out to the ring, though, as soon as the match got started. Cross was able to hit a reverse DDT after Asuka kicked the ring post. Asuka fought back with strikes, German suplexes, and won with that new Rings of Saturn style submission that she's doing. After the match, Belair entered the ring for a stare down with Asuka, but it turned weird, to say the least.
Yeah. Am I the only one that's tired of people pointing at the WrestleMania sign?
Dude, I think everyone was tired of it like 5 years ago, and we've just given up on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what else I'm sick and tired of?
What's that?
Wrestlers saying that they're sick and tired. It must have been mentioned on Dynamite like 100 times last week.
Oh,
you know what? I'm sick and tired.
My favorite one is I'm going to do this tonight in front of each and every one of you.
Yeah, that and this 6'4", 250-pounder. God.
Yeah.
Okay. Some things should be. If anything is a banned word, it's phrases. These are phrases that should be banned.
But what about blue goo? Jose.
Now, that is awesome. I dug it. Look, you know what she's saying by spewing the goo?
What?
She's saying, I could have sprayed it in your face, but I didn't. I'm just going to show it to you. Remind you that it's there.
I mean, hey, I like Asuka's new gimmick. I hate her new song. I fucking hate it. But
Well, to be fair, I can barely hear it because the crowd is so juiced.
that's true. Um So next up, Kathy Kelly backstage. She's interviewing Carmella. She asked Mella if she had a new strategy making it to WrestleMania, but Carmella replied, "It's only been 48 hours since Elimination Chamber, and she hasn't had time to come up with a plan yet. Give her about 15 minutes." she didn't say give her about 15 minutes,
Yeah.
but it literally is like 15 minutes later. She's back
Yeah.
there with Adam Pearce. Like, hey, what's up? Can I have a match? Sure.
Kathy Kelly told me I should think of something, so I did.
That's true. She's like, oh, thanks, Kathy. I'm gonna go talk to Adam Pearce. Afterwards, Kathy Kelly caught up with Seth Rollins, who was nearby. Seth was interviewed by her, and he warned Logan Paul that there was another side to him and threatened to hurt him after he interrupted the Hell in a Cell match this last weekend, costing him the United States. A lot of people being cost United States titles around here.
That's the theme nowadays for the U.S. title.
Jesus. But Logan Paul was not present. Roland says he wanted to focus on making The Miz suffer in his place tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Montez Ford is okay.
Oh, yeah.
Him being hurt was just a little entrance way, breaking a little, door through the cage so Logan Paul can come in. He's fine, ladies and gentlemen. He's fine.
I cannot. I know it's gonna suck to one day see the Street Profits break up, but Jesus, it's happening. It's slowly happening. I've been saying it for years, ever since they were in NXT. Montez is going to be world champion one day.
Well, the U.S. champion definitely.
Yeah, he could be U.S. champion right now.
He could be U.S. champion right now.
I think it was some build, and I think with a little added extra muscle on his top layer
and his bottom layer too. Those legs are pretty chickeny.
He's a skinny guy.
Yeah,
very athletic.
Leg day. Take some protein shakes. You'll get.
Given I'm the exact opposite of him.
Yeah, me too. Talk to Otis for a little bit. See what he.
There we go.
He has. And you know what? Dawson's doing some good work lately. He's been working out and showing the muscles and stuff.
Oh, it's Dawkins.
Dawkins.
That's the thing though, is like once they break up, it's gonna be like the case of Heavy Machinery. Once they broke up, it was like Otis and Tucker. Otis got the spotlight and he moved on to better things, and Tucker just faded into obscurity.
Damn, I fear the Marty Jannetty.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll see. But Seth Rollins defeating The Miz via referee stoppage after hitting him with multiple curb stops. And I do like how the referee was like, "You better stop, Seth." And then Seth doesn't stop. He's like, "All right, you win, Seth." Like,
Hollywood.
How does that fucking make sense? Like, my boss doesn't tell me to stop doing something and I do it. And they're like, "All right, you get a pay raise." Rollins and The Miz go back and forth, with Miz hitting a code breaker and the kind of Bryan Danielson-esque running knee strike for near falls, but Rollins ultimately prevailed. So I mean, it was a good match. I mean, whatever. It was The Miz, Seth Rollins.
Yeah, time filler.
Adam Pearce agreed to give Carmella a match with Asuka while they were backstage
because she was so nice and approachable.
I do love later that Corey Graves is like, "Hey, can we just cancel this match, please? I don't want my wife to be killed by Asuka next week, please." And that's when Adam Pearce gets a phone call from Chelsea Green, who was mistakenly sent to Ottawa, Illinois. Oh boy. Wowzer. No.
Oops.
I mean, where are they going with Chelsea Green?
I don't know, but they are making some damage.
Yeah, and it's like anytime
it might be irreversible damage, and she might not be able to come back from this.
Yeah, because every time she's in a match, she's like in a match
Squashed.
where she's getting swashed. So I mean, I don't know. At a certain point, like, the whole like, oh, big superstar coming in, big debut, and then they get squashed is funny, and it's like it's something to do. But when you keep doing it every single week,
you think it's going to lead to hubby coming back?
Oh, one day it'll happen. I mean, he was posting a while ago. Hey, who's to say he doesn't show up at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Let's see. So then backstage in front of a mirror, Chad Gable is practicing his modeling moves with Otis.
Then now this is because they want Otis, so he's trying to get in the club too. Is that what's going on?
Well, he doesn't think they want Otis. He thinks they want him.
Oh God, wasn't it apparent that they? Okay, continue, please.
Oh, yes, it is very apparent, but it's Chad Gable, so
now it's more apparent than ever.
He shushes himself. So, but no, Chad Gable's great. So he's backstage doing his modeling routine, and then Bronson Reed interrupts and asks if this is how you prepare for a match. I'm not going to do the New Zealand accent, but because I can't. Gable explained that he was about to get the significant modeling career, and Reed threatened him setting up the match for tonight. Then we had Ding Dong Hello with Bailey and Damage Control. So here's what I heard happen. Apparently, Trish Stratus was scheduled to be in this segment, but left because I guess created differences, or they just went a different way. It's not exactly like she left like, fuck this, I'm leaving, I'm out of here. She didn't. It's not exactly like that. We don't know at this point. I'm still waiting to hear my sources. So meaning the other dirt sheets.
You'll find out when they find out.
Exactly. So it's not exactly. So we don't know if maybe they switched up the WrestleMania match, because there was talk of Trish, Lita, and Becky versus all of Damage Control. But now we're apparently getting Becky Lynch and Lita versus Dakota Kai and Io Sky next week on Raw. So
for the titles,
yeah. So I mean, the whole Ding Dong Hello segment, it was just basically led up to that. There was really nothing to it. The one thing I will say about this, it felt a little slapped together, very like 5 people were kind of out there, like, hey, woo,
for shits and giggles, And Lita's not the best at freestyling or being light on her feet when it comes to the microphone. So the way she verbalized having to be champions before WrestleMania, it just hit the ear odd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait, what? You're not fighting at WrestleMania? You're fighting next week? But they never said next week.
Yeah, until later in the night. Yeah. They all argue, and then like Lita and Becky just grab the title belts off of Io and Dakota. Like they literally rip them off their waist and hold them up high. And it was just like, what? Like
you
what?
Turn heel in one flash? All that left was them take it into the locker room. That was a half a step from there.
Yeah, it was dim. Next up, Bronson Reed defeating Chad Gable. It's good match. I will say this: I'm not a huge fan of Bronson Reed, but I feel like with this match, like him and Chad Gable hitting those German suplexes. Even was it Bronson Reed hitting like those dives? They look massive. And Bronson Reed, I'll be quite honest, I don't think a lot of people are big on Bronson Reed.
He gives off Impact vibes to me, but okay.
Until he gets on that top rope and jumps off, because he comes out and the crowd is dead. And they're just like, oh, who's this guy? What? And then they see him and Otis come face to face in the match, and the crowd goes fucking crazy. And then the crowd goes crazy again when he went off the top rope. So
he looked very agile on that.
Absolutely, splash.
Like he hopped up there like boom, boom. I'm all gone.
Yeah. Gable eventually became distracted when Otis was engaged in conversation with Maxine Dupree. She was trying to court Otis into joining Maximum Male Models, and I can't wait for that to happen.
Please, I have to see that at a photo shoot.
It's going to be great. Reed capitalized.
He's going to get his ass kicked in the photo shoot. You know that, right?
Oh, by the other two guys, Massey and God, what's the other guy's name? Massey and
Not me. I don't pay that much attention to those guys.
I forgot his name. That's how memorable they are. That's how memorable they are. Next up, Elias came out to get his weekly paycheck.
You're right. You're 100% right.
I mean, he came out. He says, "Who wants to walk with Elias at WrestleMania?" And Bobby Lashley came out and attacked him, put him in the Hurt Lock, and apparently Lashley doesn't want to walk with Elias at WrestleMania. He just kind of wanted to beat his ass. So Lashley claimed that no one could escape his finishing move, not even Brock Lesnar or Bray Wyatt, and issued a warning to everyone in the back.
Yeah, once again, Lashley makes us miss MVP a little bit more.
So, we didn't even bring that. I don't think I wrote that down. So earlier in the night, Brock Lesnar was challenged for a WrestleMania match with Omos.
Yeah, that's not gonna
Fucking
happen, right? That's not
Omos.
gonna happen, right?
I fucking hope not.
Yeah.
Like, that is horrible. Like, and we heard in the past, Brock Lesnar is not the best to work with when he doesn't want to do something. An example, Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But he what?
Four-way dance. Lashley, Bray,
No,
Omos, Brock. No,
no.
it's a 2-night opener, night one.
I just want Brock and Bobby again, 101, steel cage or something, man.
Isn't it getting old though?
Steel cage. They've had like regular matches
17 times.
4 times, I think. 3 times.
Felt like 400.
Next week on Raw, we're going to see Dakota Kai and Io Sky versus Becky and Lita for the tag titles. Candice LeRae versus Piper Niven in a segment that was erased from the West Coast. Did you see the Candice LeRae segment?
I didn't.
Yeah, I think that was erased from the West Coast feed.
Wait. I did see what happened. What happened?
Candice LeRae and Piper Niven.
I didn't see that. I did not see that.
Okay, yeah, no. So there was a whole segment about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Asuka versus Carmella. Brock Lesnar responds to Omos's challenge, and Miz TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, backstage, an interview with Byron Saxton. Edge expressed his happiness that Judgment Day is behind him, and his happiness with his wife Beth Phoenix and her being back home with the children. He stated that he could now concentrate on winning a title because he said, man, it's been a long time since I've held gold here. Referring to Theory's quote unquote forever reign, Edge warned him that nothing lasts forever and how quickly things could, tides can turn.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have the main event, Theory versus Theory defeating Edge. Wait, no.
Wait, hold on. We did get a Candice LeRae segment, but it was with Nikki Cross, right?
Okay, was it? Okay, maybe we did get it. I don't
remember. I don't remember what's.
That's when I dozed off.
I don't remember Piper being involved in that. Maybe they just mentioned it. They were talking about Gargano. How's he doing? How's he doing? She's like, oh, he's doing great. Wait, Nikki, come here. What are you doing? Why did you follow me? Because I don't have any friends. All my friends are gone. I'm all alone.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, main event time. Was it Theory that defeated? Okay, so it ended in DQ, right? Or no, it was pinfall victory. No, Theory got the pinfall. Yeah. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's hard. West Coast staying up this late is hard.
Yeah,
I will be honest. Yeah. So the Theory defeated Edge back and forth between the two. Lasted about 18 minutes.
It was Finn interfering.
Yeah. Edge started strong, but Theory gained momentum and took control using a variety of moves to wear Edge down. Despite a valiant effort, Edge was ultimately defeated when Finn Balor interfered, allowing Theory to get the pinfall victory. After the match, Balor continued the attack on Edge, much to the disappointment of the crowd. See, look at that. Fab. I painted a picture for you with my writing right there.
Exactly. 3 coup de grace. Nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited. If that's the rest, that's going to be a good WrestleMania match.
That I'm looking forward to that. That's night 2, second to last, right before the main event.
And I've heard that they don't want to bring the Demon back, which I don't think they should do. Leave the Demon. We don't need the Demon.
The Demon's face, by the way. So
yeah, the Demon's a face, and the Demon died a long time ago when he faced Brock.
Oh, gee.
So
sad.
All right. Monday Night Raw is in the books. I want to talk Ariel Helwani and Tony Khan.
Okay, let's go.
Because holy shit. Things kind of went off the deep end this last weekend. Or I would say, like, was it Friday night that things started to go off? So this last Friday night, Ariel Helwani appeared on Friday Night SmackDown in the crowd because, this is Montreal. They were in Montreal. I believe it's his hometown, or it's a town where he was raised in parts of his life. So, a pseudo hometown. So he was there at SmackDown, and he was doing like a couple of ringside things. Like he was in the crowd, like, "Hey, we're here in Montreal. This is going to be a great for Montreal. The crowd's hot. George St. Pierre. It was hot for that. It's going to be hot for this. We're looking forward to a new champion," and kind of hyping up the crowd. Nobody thought anything of it. I was like, "Oh, Ariel Helwani."
Barely noticed him,
And then apparently he's backstage. It cuts to him. Or it's not he backstage. The camera cuts to him, but he's backstage. And apparently he looked at his phone to see a text or a tweet from AEW owner and Ring of Honor owner Tony Khan saying, "You're a fraud, Ariel Helwani. You're as legitimate of a reporter as Tony Schiavone. Hashtag AEW Rampage."
I don't get it.
So, my theory to what he's trying to say in the tweet is saying that you are not a legitimate reporter. You don't have any credibility, Ariel Helwani, because you are doing ringside reporting in WWE, which means you are a kayfabe character. So fine. I mean, sure, whatever. That being said, Ariel Helwani did respond to Tony Khan that night. He says, "Thanks for watching, old friend. Can't wait for our next chat. Also, don't listen to the snowman, Schiavone. You're a legend in my books."
Was he talking about doing cocaine?
Well, he said it was snowing in Montreal. He didn't know if it was snowing anywhere else. But okay, I mean, like, it is out of left field. It's crazy. The whole snowman comment. It's. I mean, what? Is it something you do as a journalist? Probably not. But that being said, Ariel Helwani did make comments earlier today on his podcast on the MMA Hour, kind of discussing the entire situation and spoke about his experience this weekend, and kind of said, "Hey, like, when I report MMA, I have credibility. I am a legitimate reporter." He says, "I am not." He goes, "I don't consider himself." He doesn't consider himself to have the same amount of credibility when he's doing wrestling stuff. He's just looking to have fun. And he said this was a once in a lifetime experience. How can he pass it up? He's not going to pass up something like that. God willing, he should never pass up something like nobody should ever pass up an opportunity to do something they love just because somebody online is saying they shouldn't or somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And they mentioned that they've only done maybe 6 premium live events, right? Premium live events.
Yeah.
And how can you miss an opportunity like this? Yeah. Hey, they come at me and they ask me, yes, please, I'll be there.
Hey, if AEW wants a voice of San Francisco, I mean, what better San Francisco podcast than the one with the orange and black logo, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's funny to me because like I said, okay, let's be real about this though. I mean, there have been rumors about Tony Khan for years, being somewhat of a loose cannon at times. There have been rumors of drug usage, and I mean, it's all alleged. We don't know. I don't know, but Ariel Helwani is clearly hinting at something there. And I mean, the tweet itself that Tony Khan sent out kind of had those vibes, to see, first off, to openly acknowledge that you're watching SmackDown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then to say, like, to throw his own guy under the bus, Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
And I get what he's trying to say. He's like, "Oh, you're not a reporter. You're a ringside commentator now." But Tony Schiavone, I believe, has a little credibility in the Atlanta sports scene.
Yeah, I think he did Braves games. He might have done some Falcons games, maybe some Georgia Bulldog games, probably. Yeah, he's huge. He's huge in the area.
So, yeah, I mean, I think Tony needs to take his hand off the Twitter app, or get off Twitter for a minute.
Maybe he should have someone else run it for a while.
Yeah. And then now there's like, right after, there was like, oh, this big announcement this week by Tony Khan on AEW. I'm like,
I wonder what that's going to be.
It's going to be something that Tony Schiavone is going to say, that it's going to say, oh, tonight, huge interview or a huge announcement by Tony Khan. And then they're going to be like, well, guys, I just heard Tony Khan announced.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, it's remained to be seen what's going to happen going forward. I do like, though, how WWE, they jumped all over it, man. All over it, because when they cut to Ariel Helwani at Montreal in the Elimination Chamber, like, he's sitting right next to George St. Pierre. He's backstage the entire night. And Michael Cole cuts to Ariel and then goes, that's the unbiased journalist, Ariel Helwani.
And didn't they give him like a nice segment, a pre-show?
Yes. Like, what this means for Montreal, like yeah, absolutely. They did a pre-tape segment with him.
Yeah, so, and it was oh, he talked about it on the podcast that he was thinking about writing like a little short story or a blog.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. And so yeah, I mean, hey, follow your dreams.
Yeah.
And Ariel Helwani, I think that's what happened, and I think somebody took it personally, and
yeah,
fuck it, man. I think we move on from that, because, like, hey, what else are you gonna say at the end of the day? Like, you could talk about that interview Tony Khan did with Ariel Helwani until our faces turn blue.
Yeah, no, it's
yeah, but don't expect any AEW talent on that show anymore.
Right? Yeah. Okay, what else happened this weekend in the Bay Area?
Battle in the Valley happened this weekend.
Say what?
I know, right? Sorry, I'm getting to that point. It is late night for us.
We're hitting the wall. Yeah.
All right, so a bunch of matches that happened. But fucking notable names in attendance. Did you hear about this?
I did not.
So Bailey was in attendance.
Oh, look at you.
No Way Jose was in attendance.
No way.
And CM Punk was in attendance. Because and CM Punk sat in the crowd. And I have seen multiple pictures of people just like getting selfies with him. It's funny. So a lot of people on hand for Mercedes Mone's debut, but let's go through the results just real quick. Alex Coughlin defeated JR Kratos by pinfall. David Finlay defeated Bobby Fish by pinfall. Kushida and Volador Jr., Kevin Knight, and the DKC defeated Mascara Dorada. Josh Alexander, Adrian Quest, Rocky Romero by pinfall. Kenta defeated Fred Rosser to become the strong open weight champion. The Motor City Machine Guns defeated the West Coast Wrecking Crew to retain their strong open weight titles. Eddie Kingston defeated Jay White in a loser leaves New Japan match.
Shocking.
I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks. Jay White leaving and doing his own thing. Where do you think Jay White's going to end up going? Because his time in New Japan, it's done now.
He has ties to AEW with fellow New Japan compatriot Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. He has ties at Impact, but I'm sure he doesn't want to downgrade his life. I'm sure Triple H has had some interesting conversations. So I'm not going to predict. I'm just going to be interested to where he goes. Does he want to be Seth Rollins 2.0? Does he want to be his own entity in AEW? We'll see.
You know what? I can see that. I think the smartest bet is WWE. I really do, because
that's we can agree that is the big time, right? That's the major leagues.
Well, it's not even just the big time. It's because, like, look at the future of WWE. Like, you have it's on an upward trajectory. You have a lot of people talking about going to the company now that's under new pretty much management. There's talks of Kota Ibushi maybe one day going to WWE if he can set up. He said if he can train the next generation of talent, he would sign with WWE as like a trainer / performers type
would
role.
Be freaking awesome, yeah.
And have him Kota Ibushi as one of the main trainers in NXT. Fucking Christ, dude.
Oh my god.
So to me, and you look at AEW, and yes, they're a fun company. They have great matches, but like it's been falling flat lately, dude. Like
the problem is they need writers, like professional writers, not wrestling guys, because they got the wrestling down packed. They got good,
absolutely, yes.
Their agents are there doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they tell the good story in the ring. They need a good story out the ring. As soon as they get that, they're gonna have the total package.
AEW is like when you go, like when you have a local indie promotion, but you go to every show, and you're like, okay, like random match, great fucking wrestling, but at the same time, what's the story?
Yeah, I know why they're fighting, but I don't know the whole story. Yeah, something feels missing. Sure. One big monkey wrench in WWE is the pending sale. That would worry me. So any contract you sign must be short term.
No, I can see that. Because like if it is going to end up in the hands of Saudi Arabia, then I mean, you want to consider.
And the short contract goes both ways. With AEW, just in case WWE just gets their shit together, ownership wise.
Yeah.
Then you can make the transfer easy. It's same thing with staying at WWE. Do I want to stay here after management changes? Then it's a shit show, and you're gonna wish you weren't locked into a 5-year deal.
No, that's absolutely true. You don't want to see Jay White, running around for, the 24/7, reignited 24/7 title
on WWE.com only.
On the bump,
Yeah.
I will always remember Jay White so I went to a Halloween wrestling show like in 2018. And I dressed as John Cena because it was like an easy costume to buy.
I remember
like
that.
you get a t-shirt, hat, and fucking armbands. And Jay White goes, "Oi, you're supposed to be John Cena? That's cool." I want to create a book with just one-liners of things wrestlers have said to me.
Coffee table book, nice. Let's do it.
Yeah, and like one from Matt Riddle was like, "Oh, they got pizza here? Nice." That is an actual quote Matt Riddle said to me. Yeah, given his questionable lifestyle choices nowadays. Anyways, Jay White, wherever
you go, good luck.
Good luck, buddy. Hey, if you want to come do an episode with us, I'm not going to pay you. And sometimes I go long. Sometimes I set up late. Sometimes I forget to hit record. But
did you hit record today?
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Technically, we're live, but nobody's watching because we don't stream. So not yet, at least. Tom Lawler defeated Homicide in a filthy rules match.
Dude, that was really cool. I tuned into that. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I've never seen one of those.
Fun match. It was like a blood sport type match. There was one point though where fucking Homicide hit Tom Lawler with a Death Valley driver off the ring into like a fucking door, but just like right onto the floor, man.
Dude, man.
And then Tom goes for the flying or the falling headbutt, which I saw last night on Raw too. Was it Chad Gable did the falling headbutt? I'm like, stop. Just stop doing the falling headbutt. We don't, and I don't want to hear anyone defend it. Just stop using your head as a fucking weapon. It's
just
idiotic.
One word, Benoit.
Yeah. I mean, even the creator of it, Harley Race, was like, no, dude, this is he's like, I am disappointed that I made that move. Like
he's got all kinds of like head and neck problems, right?
Harley Race is passed, right? Yeah. Now he's passed. Yeah. I believe Harley, but I believe he did. Yes. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Clark Connors via submission in a TV title match. And Mercedes Mone defeated Kyrie to win the IWGP Women's Championship match in 26 minutes and 47 seconds. Jose, what did you think of Mercedes' debut in New Japan?
Dude, cool, I guess.
Not sold?
Not 100%. I'm down with it though. I can't wait to see where it goes.
Well, my girlfriend really likes Mercedes Mone now, so that's cool, I guess. Get a different fan base in there. Awesome. That being said, like, it was definitely like better than I expected. At the same time, I didn't think like I can't compare this to the Bailey, Sasha Banks, Brooklyn NXT fucking banger of a match. Sasha, just like I will talk about people's, look sometimes with I've said about men. I'm going to say it about Mercedes. She just kept adjusting her wig throughout the entire match, and it kind of took me out of it. Like every 5 seconds, you just see her. She's like Ronda Rousey adjusting her gear.
Yeah, so her tights. Yeah, exactly the vibe I got. Yeah.
So, but I will say this about Mercedes. At Wrestle Kingdom, she hit her finisher on Kyrie.
And they practiced that.
It looked 1,000 times better.
They practiced.
One, you know what? 1,000,000 times better. So. And Kazuchika Okada defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi in about 21 minutes to retain the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Dude, there was like 4 Japanese people here at the New Japan show.
My girlfriend was asked, she was like, why? She was, are these people like they wrestle in Japan all the time? I'm like, well, most of them do. Some of them are from other companies, from independent. Some of them are CMLL. So, no, fun show though. Like I literally watched both these shows back to back, and it was
so much wrestling this week.
It was so much wrestling, but I at no point was I ever like rolling my eyes, like, oh my God, I have to watch this. There are some things where like I didn't pay attention to fully, like, you know what I mean? Like fucking the 8-man, 10-man tag at New Japan. I wasn't that Rocky Romero match. I'm not,
the US title match, the Elimination Chamber match. I'm not a big fan. I wasn't really paying attention to that.
Really?
Yeah. I wish I should, but
I liked it.
I didn't like the participants, but I mean, it's the U.S. title. That's the problem. If you're gonna have elimination chamber, it should be for the world title or the universal title. For the intercontinental title, no, I'm not okay with that. That's probably
the intercontinental title wasn't even on the show.
See what I mean, though? Those are mid-card titles, and you shouldn't have a main event. We're gonna do a Hell in a Cell for the TV title. What? No.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was that.
Right. Yeah. And then I guess we'll end with some positive news.
Okay.
Before we get out of here, I didn't actually write this one down, but I'm pulling this up on alphafigure4.com. Jay Briscoe's daughter, Gracie, she's out of the hospital.
Cool.
So the 12-year-old Gracie Pugh was released from the hospital last week. Ashley Pugh, the wife of the late Jay Briscoe, posted a photo of them. So she said she posted a picture of all of them. She said, I got all my babies back together. So she's on the road to recovery.
Great news, yeah.
And the family, ads popping up. Family friends said Gracie has, quote, normal feelings in both legs and is now able to do some assisted walking. So there was fear. At first she said she couldn't feel, her legs
lower
or whatever.
Extremities, yeah.
So
that's great news. And that's super great news that you can do assisted walking, because that's just, the beginning steps of road recovery. That's very positive.
So good luck, Gracie, with everything on the road to recovery. Glad to hear it. Okay, I think that about does it here for us here at City Wrestling Radio. Tomorrow, late night. I think we should just remember how we need to do like an Arsenio Hall style intro. I want a saxophone playing, like a
the dog pound.
Yeah, like a 90s late night TV talk show vibe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get out of here. For City Wrestling Radio, I'm Korey Smith.
I'm Jose Ocegueda.
And we will see you next time. Take care and have a good day. Bye.
Good morning.
Whenever. Bye. Guys, if you do like City Wrestling Radio, please take a moment to stroke our fragile egos and click the like and subscribe and even possibly the share button. We really do appreciate it. It does help out the show. And hey, the bigger we get, the more news you got coming down. So help us help you. All right. Like, share, subscribe, click it down below. Thank you.